it is at the advanced level, or is it something else? So we need to go deeper. Obviously, we have the mapping courses to PLO mapping. So here, what I would offer as suggestions or as observations is that, you remember we start by R, we go to R, and then A. So I wouldn't expect to have an I on the 4th year course. It doesn't make sense. Here it looks okay, but I need really to have a succession of I, R, A. Here again, I have lots of I here, which doesn't make sense, especially after the A and A here. So this is some kind of chronology because I have the 1,000, 2,000, etc. courses. So I'm not expecting to see an I in the 4th year, especially if I had an A before that. Should we look into that or not? The other thing is that we're expecting a course because we don't want to have an ocean 1 millimeter depth, right? So if a course says I cover almost all of your PLO or all your PLOs for this course, this doesn't make sense. How much time are you spending on each? We have a limited amount of time, right? So how can you cover 15 PLOs in one course? Yes.
I think one of the problems is that you're asking many different professors to do this. It's having that harmony of the definition of what I, R, and A is, and making sure that that's consistent across the professors. And I wonder how you do that when you have 40 or 50, I guess 60 or 80 courses or whatever, 40 courses.
40 courses for an undergraduate.
Right, and you have 30 or 40 profs teaching those. It's hard.
No, that's a completely valid. So the way we address these is that, first of all, we distribute the guides so how to do, but understandably not everyone reads the instructions, reads the guides. So since 2 years ago, we have started a new mechanism that is implemented in other universities as well. To do this exercise, because this is a heavy exercise and it leads to frustration if the professors are not aware of what is expected from them. So what we do is that we organize an online meeting, a Zoom meeting or Teams meeting. And this meeting is 2 hours long. In the first 10 minutes, I give a presentation and I introduce this concept of IRA, the curriculum analysis, what is expected, etc., etc. Then if there are questions, if there are things that don't, then I will go through the tool. I do a simulated kind of capture, and I will show everyone on the team meeting, on the online meeting, what is expected in which stage. This will take about 10 other minutes. They will have opportunity to ask questions. Then I will go mute and I will switch off my camera, but I stay online. And the professors are invited to do this exercise online. And obviously, after 10 minutes, there is someone who goes on and say, I don't understand. What do you mean by internationalization of curriculum? What is, where do you get this from? So I come back online, I explain this is what we would like to expect, etc. Or the assessment or stuff like that. We do our best. So not all professors can meet at one time. So we do this twice. So the director of the program actually targets 2 zones, which has a consensus among faculty members, so that I convene. So this is 2 times 2 hours, but it has a tremendous positive effect, avoiding the frustration of not understanding. Does everyone comes? About 90% of profs come. The 10% they will have to do it on their own. They will suffer, I'm sorry to say, if they are not familiar with all of that. They will feel like they don't understand it well, etc., etc. I'm always available, but it's going to be tough for them. The major drawback, the challenge, is to chase them. I mean, those who were not present usually are blocking the process, because we need everything to be in before proceeding to the analysis, right? That's the problem. Here, as I told you, we are going deeper. So we have the weight assessment. So this means that 12 courses have assessments weight 5%, 10%, 19 courses, etc., etc. So the observation here, anything that goes beyond 40% for me, I flag it. I tell you, I offer you the observation. Are you sure you want to have a course that has a 60% weight on one single evaluation? Isn't that too heavy? This means that if the student misses that, it's done. I mean, it has to repeat the course. So mental health issues, usually it's less than that, but I have 55%. I had a case where I had 4 courses distributed in this zone. To my mind, it's heavy. It may be not. Maybe you say, no, this is completely fine in our context, right? Yes, please.
So to get this data, you have to analyze every course. So who does that?
The professor, he will spend 30 to 45 minutes to enter this data in my questionnaire.
Okay.
That is the formal curriculum analysis, the formal one, exactly. Same thing for the distribution of the assessments. So here, again, 2 items that I will flag. Week 1, there are 2 assessments. Again, come on, let's think about students, especially you have an international student just coming, doesn't know where the bus station is. And the first week you're asking an assessment, even if it is 5%, it's demoralizing. Can we start a little bit later? Let's say start week 2 or 3. I mean, don't put it week 1, right?
And students can change courses up until week 3. So
yeah, I mean, but this is some kind of, it's totally understandable that the student will be stressed out. Why do we want to stress them out? What help does it do? The other thing is week 6. Week 6 we have a peak. We have a peak. So can we spread? Is there any way of spreading the load? Let's say I get that we have to cover some content, but we can maybe put 2 here, 2 other here to reduce that peak to kind of, this we cannot do anything with it. I agree, okay? So these are the kind of remarks and comments and observations that offer you, and the terminology I use, would it be possible, desirable? Up to you to decide, right?
I guess there's a way to do courses that are pass-fail. There's quite a few in our graduate program.
I don't have pass-fail, but I can look into that, yeah.
but that's still have assessments.
Depends. We have a series of modules, so like sometimes just 4 modules.
I have a category.
That could be actually a nice way to argue that we should go back to assigning grades to some of these courses.
Yes, I fully agree with you. It depends. I mean, if you have a practical demonstration of something, if in your clinical practice you have something clinical to be demonstrated, it could be pass or fail. You cannot, I mean, pass something 80%. I mean, you have to have it 100%, right? But if it is not clinical, then yeah. We have also these transferable skills, interpersonal skills, creativity. So listed by order of coverage, collaboration, teamwork, communication, leadership, diversity. And we always have other categories, by the way. So if not mistaken, the pass or fail, professors entered into the other category over there. Critical thinking, intellectual curiosity. These are the UO competencies, very close to UO competencies or institutional learning outcomes. And finally, we have a summary table. Where is my summary table? I offer you a summary table which summarizes the PLOs, I mean, list down the PLOs, and then how many of them are covered at the introduction, and reinforce advanced thought. Oh, I forgot. I missed one important piece here. What happened? Sorry. One slide that is missing. Okay. Anyway. The tools, well, this is a questionnaire. We have a practice mode in this questionnaire. We have a record mode. Practice mode is to make comfortable profs. Whatever they enter will be ignored. Record mode is when they are confident with the questionnaire. They would like to really enter the data for the course. If they make a mistake, no big deal. They can kind of put a note. So we have provided some options to do that. The IRA appears in the questionnaire, but during the session online, I explained to them what we mean by introductory reinforcement advanced. Teach, practice, and assess. Actually, we have another question. I was looking for the diagram, but I don't know where the diagram, I think I deleted that slide by mistake. So we also ask profs to tell us how they are going to deliver that PLO. Do they teach it? Do they ask students to practice it, or do they assess the performance of the students? So we have IRA coverage, and you have teaching, practicing, and assessing of PLO. It's different. I think we have talked about that. My last slide. So curriculum analysis can only start after PLO revision, right? So, and the idea is to provide evidence-based insights on the alignment in order to see whether there are areas to be improved or not. We consider other aspects like bilingualism, experiential internationalization, transferable skills as well. So we have a staggered process called rapid curriculum analysis. CA stands for curriculum analysis, formal curriculum analysis. This is 3 years down the road. The observations that I offer you are totally neutral and from a purely pedagogical point of view, right? And the success criteria, obviously, for this exercise to be successful is that we need accurate course data, which is provided by the profs. So now, worst case scenario, you have a course for which you cannot find any professor who might be willing to spend that time, either for the quick one or the long one. Well, it falls back to the director of the program to form a small committee by 2 or 3, but this is really the last resort. That is not our first priority, and we wouldn't recommend that, because you really need someone who's familiar with this course. All compulsory courses will need to be included, and a selection of optional and electives also would need to be included by applying the criteria of IRP and detecting those. A report will be submitted. So this report, I'm talking about the formal curriculum analysis. In the rapid one, the Excel sheet is the end of it. You have your Excel sheet, you have the course PLO mapping. It's easy to look into that. I can help you with detecting the number of IRA, whether this fits the criteria and so on. We have a guide for that. But when I say the report, this is the report for the full curriculum analysis. You may come up with the idea that everything's perfect, no need to change anything, or we have a course that has too much emphasis on one PLO, but we have other PLOs that are not covered. Would it be possible to lighten the emphasis here, which means to speak with the prof and ask him whether he would be amenable to do some modifications in the course learning outcomes, which we don't touch on, because it's the course learning outcomes that are going to support the program learning outcomes in such a way that this distribution is made in a more uniform and distributed way. We don't have peaks of coverage and we have gaps of coverage in the PLOs. Okay, So that's about it.